Derive.
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 A book I wrote about ways to improve education in America.
And what income did you derive from this book? You derived from this book. You derived from this book.
In royalties,
The income he'll derive from his half of the catering business alone should...
Wait, I'm not planning on giving him.
And it basically says that aberrations happen. You can drive yourself nuts trying to derive meaning from things that have no meaning to begin with.
If you took 1/10 the time you spend on killing people and devoted it to reading a book now and then, I really think you would derive great benefit.
Birthed him, but I'm his mom. And he's happy. And while I admit I derive pleasure from torturing you because you fucking deserve it.
And what is your name?
Angela.
Oh, derived from the word angel. Appropriate.
You're cute.
Tetrodotoxin is biologically derived from tetrodontity.
Formed in the ergot stage of fungal development, it's hallucinogenic, the natural substance from which LSD is derived.
The darkest secret. Echo Cave derives its name from an old saying, the deeper the lie, the more truth in its echo.
Your Honor, absolutely not. You know, I have nothing but respect for this court and for the rule of law that it represents. You know, the rights that we've derived from over 900 years of fealty to the Magna Carta are the only thing standing between us and the anarchy of mob rule.
Piece of food in the teeth came back positive for digitalis.
Yes, it's derived from the leaves and seeds of the foxglove plant.
Faculty.
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 Faculty. Faculty.
It's amazing how popular you become once you die.
I think I speak for the entire faculty, when I say...
I never guess. It's a shocking habit, destructive to the logical faculty.
Maybe we should hear from the faculty. Faculty. Certainly this tragedy didn't only affect our students.
See an old faculty picture.
Farsi. He arranged the hire of his wife, Kathy.
MSc was understaffed, so the faculty wives were the typing pool. He's got a place waiting for him at one of the finest drama faculties in the country.
The work that I do requires my complete mental faculty. Your presence here is an irritant. It's a burr in my cognitive fabric.
We had a faculty meeting last Thursday, and the topic was senior class photos.
Right, so who's got keys? The science faculty, the staff, Carmen, the vice principal, has the master, and me.
Now, Dr. Devlin, how well did you know Ann Cardinal?
I was her faculty advisor at Hudson University.
Dewey and Marco are back at Bayview High as faculty. Dewey is the brainy science teacher, while Marco is reliving his glory days as the football coach.
It appears to be on faculty at Oahu State.
I did, yeah. You know, lucky we got him. A lot of the other instructors got canned from their houses. We're totally patting the faculty to keep these guys employed.
Commit.
Commit.
Commit. Commit.
Commit.
That's right, because the more guilty people who commit suicide, the less will crowd the courts.
I have a theory. The reason people commit suicide is because they don't like themselves. Self-hatred.
They were 3 times as likely to commit suicide as those taking sugar pills. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Jeff Chang tried to commit suicide?
Get out.
But we can't actually charge him with depraved heart. We'd have to be able to prove he knew those women were going to commit suicide.
He knew.
The best parts of you will carry forward. The rest we do commit to fire.
Had a seizure.
A seizure while trying to commit suicide.
So send her for a psych eval. What's that got to do with us?
She saw her mom commit suicide and was abused by her stepdad for years.
But she knew the transgressions of her past were nothing compared with the sin she was about to commit.
Are you two gonna have sex?
No, we are not going to have sex.
Why not?
Because I don't commit adultery like your father.
Together, the raising of the upper lid and tightness under the eyes. If someone is about to commit a premeditated act of violence, this is the expression you're going to see.
So, are we prepared to commit our city to being Majestic's bowl because the guy next door brought up we're a cool model?
So I'm not 100% sold.
You can't commit to anything, can you?
Don't say that. I'm committed to you. Nothing's changing between us.
Belief.
Belief. Belief. Belief.
Belief.
I don't want to. Her husband is pastor.
Violence would be a logical extension of his belief.
Compiled data proved something conclusively despite your belief system. Belief system. Belief system.
Citric acid? It's my considered belief that Agent Booth spilled orange juice on his tie.
All of these bands sound alike and appear to share identical belief systems and more.
Highly suggestible and possess a strong belief that there's something larger than them.
First, I'd like to clarify something. After we talked about my beliefs, you were clearly upset.
Relief that the mojo was good and not bad.
Okay, now you're just mixing up belief systems.
Really?
Your belief in the power of love is admirable, Booth?
Oh, I don't condone it.
You admire it. You hold two beliefs at once. It's called cognitive dissonance. The same way, they eat the same food, they work in the same occupations, they share the same spiritual beliefs, and they've never even met each other.
It's not fair. Wendell's a good kid.
I thought your belief in God gave you the sense that the universe had some kind of loving plan.
Rail.
Rail. Rail.
Rail.
Rail.
Tell them the piece has been found.
They're up on the monorail. They're up on the monorail. They're up on the monorail. Release the cover jumpers.
Hey, boss. Yeah. Get on that safety rail, huh? Safety rail, huh? Safety rail, huh? Kenny. Yeah.
Moss, hold onto the rail. Hold onto the rail. Hold onto the rail.
The Berlin recordings.
Yes.
We could go all over Europe by rail.
Take the whole gang.
I'm so confused. I don't...
Okay, we're going off the rails again here. Okay, listen, everybody. Here's the point.
Yeah, but...
And would it be possible to have the rail going through the middle of the room?
I can't get through! Train's blocked in the tunnel!
Where does the metro rail come above ground?
11th and Fig.
The family life that he craves, one minute he rails against the next, demanding freedom.
Metro Police. A young Indian girl just jumped on the third rail of the subway tracks an hour ago.
He's skinny as a rail, actually. Never understood how.
So I lean out way over the rail to get the shot. Next thing I know, the police arrive. People had called 911.
They have to. You've got one overriding priority. Complete construction of the rail spur to the Carolina Southern track by the end of the month.
Bacteria. Bacteria.
Bacteria.
Bacteria.
Bacteria.
Weathering on the ice.
Maybe. Could be a bacteria. Bacteria. Bacteria.
When its fiery anger was used to explain away plagues and crop failures, diseases and disasters, which we now ascribe to bacteria and bacteria and bacteria and viruses.
Not that cold. Hey, stop! Careful! Do you have any idea what kind of bacteria lives in river water?
Not this water.
You have a slight epidermal abrasion on your forearm. I suggest an antibacterial spray.
Whoa. Building. It's all under the same roof. Do you think that sick people aren't eating with this bacteria-infested silverware?
That's been untouched by the pandemic, and yet severe enough to promote adaptive activity in bacteria.
But he touches it. I mean, we both know that alien materials react negatively to human biology.
The way white blood cells fight off bacteria or a virus.
Yeah.
These are prokaryotes. That means the growth in the bone isn't viral, it's bacterial infection.
So she was injected with a virus and bacteria.
Bacteria acted as a booster so that the mutated virus would grow even more quickly.
It's a botulinum toxin.
Botulism?
Yeah. Oh, actually, we do, right? I mean, we found bacteria in the victim's tooth that was transferred from your phone.
Disgusting fact. Cell phones carry 10 times more bacteria than a toilet seat. Your wife is a fountain of information. Yeah. Among the bacteria we found was one called Candida albicans.
I don't understand why they're not sick all the time over there with all that bacteria.
Bacteria. I'm hungry.
Shortage.
Shortage.
Shortage. Shortage.
Shortage.
Hospital's inventory and register a shortage of O-negative blood. I could stall the surgery without breaking any of Wesley's rules.
The water.
Good.
Well, wouldn't it save time if we were laying the rails while you were finishing the rudder?
Manpower shortage. Manpower shortage. Manpower shortage.
I don't even know why we're doing this.
Because what if Lily gets sick and there's a Tamiflu shortage? Who do you think's going to get that medicine?
Get a couple of days fishing out of it, then just restock or whatever the word is. Seems to be no shortage of them.
Where did you find all these people?
SHIELD has no shortage of enemies, Doctor. This the stuff you need?
Yeah, iridium.
He seems to think that there's a sausage shortage in America. Gotta hand it to Homeland Security.
Could have a stroke.
What about getting the blood from an outside area?
There's a real shortage. We're working on it, but it's going to take time we don't have.
You've done excellent work over the years. Made a lot of enemies. There's no shortage of people who would like to see you dead.
We've got a real nursing shortage here, and they keep cutting our budget, and...
Attention, all available personnel. Code blue, staff, group 2.
Look, Allie, Chester's Mill is coming up on a serious food shortage. Now...
Stay as sheriff?
Oh, yeah, having a blast. Never a shortage of trouble these days.
I mean, how many of us has that actually worked on?
Not enough. There's no shortage of brilliant kids just like yourself who are too stupid to get out of the hood.
Well, there's no shortage of reading material. That's for sure, Harold.
Catalog.
Catalog.
Catalog. Catalog.
Catalog.
Do you know what this is?
Is it a Father's Day present for Daddy?
No. This is Mommy's catalog. Mommy's catalog. Mommy's catalog.
Wait until you see what I got Phil for his birthday. I found it on the Sky Mall catalog. Sky Mall catalog. Sky Mall catalog.
No sons. She's a widow. My dear, I'm a sales catalog. Catalog. Catalog.
If you evade us there, enforce him with his hatred to the people.
Have you a catalogue of all the voices that we have procured set down by the poor?
I have.
The emerald is from Callie's temple, and...
I read the catalogue description, love.
Cool stuff in here. I got it all from Sky Mall. I'm hooked on that catalog.
That stuff's bullshit.
This numbskull's gonna make it easy for us. I mean, he literally brings the money to us. We count it, catalog it, send it to the Federal Friggin' Reserve.
We should treat this like an archaeological dig. Grid the site, excavate, catalog, analyze.
Any luck?
The number pattern is consistent with cataloging numerics.
What kind of catalog?
If I knew, I would be telling you.
She likes him.
Yeah, who wouldn't? Where'd you find him? A Tommy Hilfiger catalog?
Just down.
Look, last file we pulled, catalog of all the Inhumans they turned and put into stasis, but...
Let me guess.
We're in.
Now see if there's a catalog server.
Catalog server.
Here.
Are you in Miss Shaw?
Card catalog by the window, top drawer on the right.
Hurry.
Dial.
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 Dial. Dial.
Bottom. There's a dial on the bottom. There's a dial on the bottom, but none of our equipment can detect any electrical or spectrographic signals.
So, why is the whole dial still static?
Oh, no.
And Uniform said that there was no forensic evidence at the Dial a Goddess office. Dial a Goddess office. Dial a Goddess office.
But what we did get from Dial a Goddess were their copious call logs, about 200 pages worth.
Because I respect a soldier with some moxie.
Really? Then I really think we should...
Whoa! Dial back the moxie!
Unless that's Buddha and Jesus on speed dial, I don't think we have much to talk about.
Dial by name. Here are your cell phones. Never dial out. Only receive calls.
You got one number on speed dial. It says Dad.
Depression.
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 Depression, depression, depression.
I know you're looking for signs of PTSD, but I assure you I'm fine.
We step back again. Within 50 years, you'd brought us World War I, the Depression, fascism, the Holocaust.
She's depressed.
I'm not depressed. The booklets and the websites always list depression as a side effect of cancer. Depression's not a side effect of cancer.
Second Great Depression.
Both signs of a lifting depression. Avenging your sister's death has freed you.
Police consultant.
This is my partner, Joan Watson, and I'm pleased to say she's just successfully treated my depression.
Well, that's wonderful news.
Happy time for her. In fact, it's a dark, black hole of depression involving the death of her favorite aunt and uncle.
Horrible discharge.
And according to his counselor, Lee went into a deep depression, turned his anger against the world.
No. The occasional bout of depression, which then led to low self-esteem.
He's cute! Nursing home workers have the highest rate of depression in any field.
Look, all Brandon said about it was that she had depression her whole life.
She sounded so excited that I want to send her on some downward spiral. Apparently, doctors have a very high rate of depression.
Precise.
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 More precise, more precise, more precise. Looking for your boy, Ben.
It's weird. Kids, they're so precise about their age. Precise about their age. Precise about their age. Max insisted that he wasn't 4.
He's in his 30s or 40s. He's got real physical strength, combined with an older man's self-control. He's cautious, precise, precise, precise.
One move more prepared. One step quicker. One shot more precise.
You're 14,000 years old?
14,004, to be precise.
I find myself enduring nothing more than a mere collection of precise brushstrokes.
Which notes, which chords, and in what precise measurements?
Okay, I'm not done with my speech here.
Oh, I didn't know there was a speech.
Yes, it's a pitch.
Oh, okay.
To be precise.
Oh, is that like a baseball reference?
Manchester. There's more to it than that, you know.
We want some very precise reporting when dinner's over.
They weren't burglars, okay? They were professionals. They were organized and precise.
Yeah, stun guns, gloves, they knew exactly what they're after. There's no doubt you were targeted.
If I could only find a way to extend the borders of the scan to not require as precise a sensor.
Tradition doesn't mean they'll enforce. Then get me a precise location. Why?
Engage. Engage.
Engage. Engage. Engage.
Obligation is to wrestle. It's to engage. Engage.
It's not like that with Kenneth, okay? He meets my cultural needs, and you engage my sensual, sexual side.
Hold your fire! You're not engaged! You're not engaged! You're not engaged!
How are the Shabatskis?
You mean Kitty?
Is she engaged now?
Nope.
To Janet and Philip. Last year, my younger sister Janet got engaged.
You got Facebook, dude?
Fuck off.
All right.
Let's ride, ladies.
Suspect is engaged with an unidentified white male.
Mitzi Sunhu. Name means fragile flower. She was engaged to a Choi and then...
That's still held by the enemy. So we shoot our way into the palace. We engage multiple targets down this long hall.
Tin Man is down.
Engage our birds and ground teams.
Exit. There's only 2 of us. This is a surgical strike. It's not a suicide mission. They'd rather run than engage in firefight.
Cabin? Where she is? Are you sure?
We're engaged. I think it's about time you met my mother.
I do. Nikki's engaged.
Nourish. Nourish. Nourish.
Nourish.
Nourish.
The children of the world. Nourish their souls. Nourish their souls. Nourish their souls. Help you to grow. Watch your wings spread and help you to soar.
Together,
we believe that what the illusion of supremacy has destroyed, the truth of equality can nourish.
Tasty little hors d'oeuvre. But my inner child is hungry and crying out for something more nourishing.
But the eyes of every child are filled with potential and hope, and we should embrace and nourish that potential, but we don't.
Today in Bali, in Indonesia, we cultivate seaweed and extract from it a nourishing gelatin. We delve unceasingly into the oceans to nourish ourselves.
Balloon Man feeds off the public grief of his victims' families. You nourish him, he'll get bored. End the game. Keep him hungry, we might have 2 days.
Runts in a large litter, unlikely to ever reach the nourishing teats of Indiana Jones.
And do you, Claire, take the hand of William and promise to love, cherish, and nourish his every breath until you breathe your last?
I do. The substance I'm secreting is oxygen-rich. It'll enter your lungs and nourish you, but you have to let it in.
Consequence.
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 And my guess is that if Ronnie and Professor Stein knew the consequences that we were all facing, they would make the same decision. It's 2 lives for millions.
I made a rash decision, and I'll pay the consequences. That's what I do. As I said, you did go behind my back, so for that, there's a consequence. There's a consequence. There's a consequence.
But criminals don't accept consequences, huh? They kill somebody, somehow it's not their fault. Well, this is the consequence of what I
look
do.
who made it.
Mr. Consequence.
You make decisions. You have to live with the consequences. You mean the ninth ray?
It's of no consequence now.
Right now. But there's no use looking behind at the terrible choices you've made. Better to look forward at the consequences of the terrible choices you've made.
We're both dealing with the consequences of my father's actions.
Choice has been made.
I'm not accepting it.
There will be consequences.
Society without rules, without consequences.
And there's nothing we can do to him. Powerful men have a way of avoiding consequences. From what I'm told, if you're a member of the Stockheimer crew, you get out, first thing you do is pay him a visit or suffer the consequences.
Listen, I understand you're afraid of the consequence.
Election.
Election. Election. Election.
Election.
Back from the edge of oblivion and overnight made you the front runner in this coming election. Election.
You're saying you want me to win the election?
This one? And 4 more after it. And I'm not just talking about elections for Senate.
It's just until the election. After that, the schedule starts to loosen up.
I'm sure it will.
Do you really want to know?
Alicia, you don't want to think 3 days from now that you cost Peter the election.
Yeah, I guess I could have been more convincing.
Oh, okay. You don't have to worry about being convincing till the next election.
Before the St. Mary's crisis, no one would have predicted the results of the election that year. No one. And then not long after the election, lo and behold, a miracle.
Closure, have we met before?
Yes. Last year, during the state's attorney election, I believe you lost to my husband.
Well, thank you for the stoner summary of the last election, but we don't live in any of those places. We even need your father. We are white, which according to the last presidential election is the new minority.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey. I'm from the Weekly Saver. Mind if I ask you a couple questions about the big election?
Not at all. Fire away.
After the election, we all thought that the Khatami regime would be more open to secular work, but I was expelled from school.
I'm now the sheriff of Storybrooke.
That election was a sham.
Guys got campaign funds.
Nah, forget the funds. You know what the most valuable commodity in any election is? The candidate themselves.
Dependent.
Dependent. Dependent.
Dependent.
Dependent.
You've been dependent on a pacemaker for the past 7 years.
Lawrence, it is withering. My wife grows dependent on my grandfather's bastard.
All designed to make Miss Adler psychologically dependent on her captor.
Ever, the FBI people said that was because he needed me to be completely dependent on him.
Come on, let's get something to eat.
No. They're not skinny, they're lean. Dogs are too dependent on humans.
And she had intentionally put him in a dependent position.
We have to get him back to the house and get him warmed up.
This thing needs a human body to live in. Isn't it dependent on the temperature of the body?
Don't wait by the phone. He only cares about claiming me as a dependent.
Our vision was not dependent upon our eyes, nor upon light.
Well, yes, of course, that's included.
What does Sean do?
That's right, all dependents.
What's the job?
The kitchen.
Accuracy.
Accuracy. Accuracy.
Accuracy. Accuracy.
How's this thing judged?
Hang time, distance, accuracy. 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 Okay.
I became aware of that.
Good. Accuracy is our friend. Accuracy is our friend. Accuracy is our friend.
Helpful and honest, which is important. Because at the end of the day, it's the accuracy of our information, the accuracy of our information, the accuracy of our information that can determine whether this ends well or badly.
And what's golf?
Golf is accuracy. Accuracy. Accuracy.
Touchscreen technology over time often suffers from calibration drift, a loss of accuracy of where exactly the finger of the voter presses.
I don't think he's gonna break up with her. Really? You have the accuracy rate of a magic 8-ball.
That was a kitchen knife. It wasn't even weighted properly, yet you threw it for accuracy across a 10-foot room.
Exactly. I got lucky.
Since we last met, if you can now see a distinction between accuracy and the truth.
Theories are improved as more evidence is gathered, so that accuracy in prediction improves over time.
Cabin.
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 Cabin. Cabin.
Get to the cabin. What? Get to the cabin. What? Get to the cabin. What? No. The cabin. Get, take care of your brother. You hear me? Get out of here while you still.
Was having lunch with the hottest girl in school, and I was miserable.
We're going up to the lake. My dad has a cabin there, and you get the most outrageous tan.
Okay, where now?
I have a cabin. My family does. I'm meaning to get there.
Derek hooked us up with a cabin on one of those freighters. South America via the Great Lakes.
Why do you have a cell in your cabin?
Great. Inside cabin facing the bow.
It's tomorrow night, so if you could just keep Julie an extra day.
Fine, but that's all. Brandy and I leave Sunday for a week up at the cabin.
What cabin?
First, he would guide Mike Delfino and Catherine Mayfair to a remote cabin.
You brought his rain gear. I hear it's gonna pour up there.
Up where?
The cabin.
What are you talking about?
Girls are with her.
Why don't you take a break? I got it.
No. I'm not gonna sit around my cabin staring at the walls.
Fleet of the Russian Federation.
Messenger of the Watch, please go to my at-sea cabin and grab me a book off the shelf, the one in Russian.
Hi, Captain.
She ran off when we took her to Sam's cabin.
I could show you the streams to fish, the woods to run. Build yourself a cabin and find a woman to lie with in the night.
I wouldn't need a cabin. Please.
Where? Tuscan Villa?
Cabin. In the Australian outback.
Cooperate.
Cooperate. Cooperate. Cooperate. Cooperate.
Out of my house.
If you're not going to cooperate with me, I might as well not be here.
Yo, she'll be able to walk up out of here if y'all cooperate. I need her to open a ghost story, yo.
Promising virus has been discovered in France. Why do you refuse to cooperate with the French? Why are we told not to cooperate with the French? Cooperate with the French. Cooperate with the French.
What about the insurance fraud? Is that enough to get him off the street?
You bring him in, he'll probably call his lawyer, refuse to cooperate. You need more.
Look, man, he made a mistake. His friend set him up. They said if we cooperate, if we help him.
You gotta get Jimmy out of this. Might not be that easy. If he doesn't cooperate, they're likely to indict him on obstruction.
I did not expect you to cooperate.
It's so much better to cooperate, isn't it?
If he will not cooperate, we cannot, under any circumstances, attempt to detain him.
You're going to cooperate, including getting Miss Shumway to hand over that power source.
A place where bad things will happen to them unless you cooperate.
You think Chuck's Lawn will bite?
Cooperate, we give your people protection and a place at the banquet.
Detach. 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 Detach.
Detach.
Feel remorse when you're like shooting someone in the face? They used to tell us that we had to detach, but I never could.
Astronaut is off structure. Dr. Stone is off structure. Dr. Stone, detach. You must detach. If you don't detach, that arm's going to carry you too far. Listen to my voice. You need to focus. I'm losing visual of you. In a few seconds, I won't be able to track you. You need to detach. I can't see you anymore. Do it now. Houston, I've lost visual, Dr. Stone.
We got enough. We need to detach the fuel line. Detach the fuel line. Detach the fuel line.
It's like tugging across the chest, but once the line detaches from the cuff, it will simply slide away.
Your profile. Indifferent and emotionally detached from reality. Inability to communicate with any other human being on the face of this earth.
By the end of the evening, all I felt was detached, neutral. No fireworks, no leftover anger, no flutters, nothing. So yeah.
Stay emotionally detached. Don't get too involved in your PR's crisis.
I did not plumb down into some dark part of myself. I detached from myself, from all that was essential to me.
Is there really no way to detach her money from the estate? Even to me, it seems absurd.
Beneath.
Beneath. Beneath. Beneath. Beneath.
That this is beneath the dignity of this court.
I would tend to agree, Mr. Golden.
Sure.
You wear a mask for so long, you forget who you were beneath it. Beneath it. Beneath it.
Most waves break on reefs less than 20 feet beneath the surface. Beneath the surface. Beneath the surface.
The pipes beneath our feet that connect the two. Route 66.
Mr. Losky was clean and smooth on the outside, but it seemed like there was something rotten buried just beneath the surface.
This muddy desert has hidden treasures buried beneath.
News to comment, the Channel 8 News has learned that 2 construction workers have been killed, while others may still be buried alive beneath tons of concrete.
This is a little beneath my pay grade. Come on, you're wasting my talent.
Well, beneath the privileged upbringing of the wealthy veneer.
Principles. Look, sometimes people like Keller get so desperate for the thing they want that they don't notice the ground shifting beneath their feet.
It's what lies beneath.
Magnificent.
Magnificent.
Magnificent. Magnificent.
Magnificent.
It's okay, I guess.
It's okay, it's magnificent. Magnificent. Magnificent.
Tonight is the magnificent Lyrid meteor shower.
It was beyond words. I mean, neither of us can hardly speak.
No, you were magnificent. You were magnificent. You were magnificent. Your performance, Juna, is right. It was beyond words.
Give me more.
a magnificent Callow of about 1840, a polychrome James Bond rare.
The magnificent nut groves, so sought after by Scar, thrive here because of the rich soil and another magic ingredient.
These magnificent expanses are immense nets spread out in the sun, which are used to dry the harvests.
That would be a magnificent owl. Coligo accurate.
Magnificent. We were sent by the magnificent Lorenzo de Medici of the Republic of Florence.
The poor fuckers, they blow a gasket after a lifetime of trying to figure out the magnificent organism that is woman.
Ben's so magnificent, then why did he need one of us to save him?
Ben. Now, more magnificent plant species like the giant sequoia.
Quality.
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 And tomorrow you and I will spend some quality time with our professor.
It was a rare quality, this summer effect.
Not just quantity, but quality. Quality. Quality.
Regenex, Resal, Nectar. There are various levels of usefulness and quality, but this is the most pure and...
Last month in the King's Bench prison in the company of debtors. This month the guest of quality, rank and fashion.
I have my own car. Maybe you should think about using it. I enjoy our quality time together.
Dad, normally clothing would completely decompose within 2 years, but this is high quality polyester. Could be 2 years, could be 10.
Quality's amazing, considering where it's made.
Excuse me?
And just for the record, Labradoodles are hypoallergenic, which is a very sexy quality to those troubled by animal dander.
Than pure logic.
Quality which deflects us from an irrational admiration for the rational.
Exactly.
Mirror.
Mirror. Mirror.
Mirror.
Mirror.
Now look. Mirror magic. Mirror magic. Mirror magic. Her arm is back.
The face I see in the mirror, see in the mirror, see in the mirror, is a stranger.
Even the purest mirror gives a tone to the sky.
I remember when my granddaddy passed, my grandma went around and covered every mirror in the house.
You don't belong here, nigga! You hear me? Why don't you look in the mirror?
It's like when you say your name over and over again in the mirror, and after a while it sounds crazy.
Why do you always laugh?
Picturing you looking at the mirror.
Yeah, but every time we
do.
You're looking for somebody to save, you better look in the mirror.
Boyfriend?
I'm expressing myself creatively. You're counting underarm hair with a mirror.
Art.
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 Art. Art.
Princess Betsy,
Cousin, I didn't know you were an art lover.
I'm prepared to be one.
Ain't a fucking bed, that's a fucking art piece. Art piece. Art piece. It's my fucking spaceship.
Nobody's lived here for years. So how's the art world treating you, Paul?
Well, you know, it's never gonna make me rich, but it's all right. It's okay.
Now, I'd like to discuss processing and communication. The art of listening, if you will.
Every painting tells a story.
All good art tells a story.
Look at this. Raul Carlos, head of the Arroyo cartel, is reported to have the largest private art collection in Latin America.
This book is just not, it's not going to write itself, you know what I mean?
Are you saying your science is like art?
Small, eh?
There. It's for people who live out of hotels. A sort of secret art to make the experience more bearable.
Raphael's St. George and the Dragon. It's a powerful piece.
Commodities and art. You've got diverse interests.
Like you, art is my passion.
Did you steal the art?
No. Who was? What are you talking about? What happened? Ghost ship found with Hitler clones?
And priceless art. Our priceless art.
Ooh.
Morning, Peter. Morning. Elizabeth. I'm gonna carry that for you?
You're casing her art.
What?
You're casing my art?
Please, you guys qualify for the Friends and Family Plan.